Okay. Okay, so first and foremost, good afternoon in the Philippines, my dear students. Okay, and this is our second Zoom session for nursing research. Okay, by next week, I will be in the Philippines na. So we will be having, of course, our usual in-person sessions. Okay, so for Mark, you're on the way home. Currently, nagmomotor. Okay, safety first. Okay. So yon, and just an update to everyone. So I received the introduction. Okay, although some students submitted it beyond 5 p.m., so I'll be considering that. And I can see there are students who really follow the instructions when it comes to the ano no, yung mga components ng isasubmit nyo. So first one, you need to have a table of the summary of citations. Then after that, so you will be writing your introduction, okay? Because that's really important when we
Lagi, hindi
finalize.
gumagana yung ano kasi mahina.
Mahina po yung, ako po ba yung mahina? Or yung device nyo po? Hazel? Hazelin? Can you hear me clearly? Or may problem dun sa
Yes
audio
po,
ko?
sir.
Okay, sige.
Clear naman po.
Okay naman. Sige, sige. Okay. Kasi baka mamaya yung audio ko yung may problema so I can adjust. You just let me know. And if you have questions, kindly type it on the meeting chat at any time during the discussion so that we can clarify. Okay? So yun. So previously we discussed introduction. And I received your prelim examination, your introduction, okay, and this will be checked, no? So I actually started scanning all of those, and for me, it's acceptable naman po, no? And but we will be refining that as we complete your, of course, your proposal. So I would like to check on everyone, okay? So just would like to say hi to everyone. Okay, hopefully you're catching up, no? I know nursing research is not your only subject for this semester, and some of you are having duties. So time management is very much important. Okay. So during our last meeting, we discussed introduction. So again, what is the format of our research? Ano nga ba yung format na
IMRED
ina-adapt
format, sir.
natin? Very
Emerald
good.
po.
Hindi Emerald, ah. So that is IMRAD format. Okay, so when we say IMRAD format, so we are working on the introduction. So check na po ito. So next we have the methods. Next we have the results and discussion. Okay, however, when we say proposal or nursing research 1, hanggang dito lang po tayo sa methods. So that is the IMRAD format. So at Our Lady of Fatima University, we are utilizing what we call the modified IMRAD format. So when we say modified in IMRAD format, so I discussed this last week. So I'll be reminding everyone. So after the title, of course, you need to have your proposal abstract. That's one paragraph. And of course, the keywords. However, sa dulo na lang natin to i-refine kasi these are some miscellaneous parts of your proposal manuscript. So you have your 1.0. 1.0 is the section for introduction. 2.0 is the section for lit review, which is composed of research framework o yung tinatawag nating theoretical framework. And also we have the literature review. Okay, and after that, we have 3.0, we have the method section. Okay, so guys, we are done with the introduction. So today we are going to have a purely lecture about literature. Okay, ano ba yung mga parts ng framework write-up? Ano ba yung mga parts ng literature write-up? And of course, by next meeting, I'm going to give you my suggested outline for your 2.0 based on your topic. Kasi nga, we are working on several topics. So I cannot give a recommendation that is generic to all. So it really depends on your topic. So I will be giving, of course, your working paper. So yung working paper nyo, yung introduction na ginawa natin, i-edit ko lang siya, lalagyan ko lang ng mga notes and outline sa dulo. Then we will be discussing that next meeting. Okay. So another would be research methods. So the week after that, we will be discussing methods, yung specific design na gagamitin natin. Okay, and just like what I mentioned to you, so we are going to pilot, no? We are going to transform some tools that are used in previous research into the Philippine setting. So when we say Philippine setting, still bibigay din kayo ng survey. So you will have an experience when it comes to quantitative research. And later on, during the final period, I'm going to discuss also qualitative research because in addition to your quantitative component of your paper, mag-i-interview din kayo ng selected participants lang naman, mga 4 to 6 participants, so that we can have a lecture on qualitative research as well. Okay? So we're done with introduction. So for today, we are going to review some of the concepts that are important for framework and literature review. So at this juncture, I would like to share with you our topic, no? Yung mga specific objectives ng ating lecture. So again, we will focus on topics related to literature review and research framework. So more of discussion muna tayo. The next meeting, balik tayo dun sa ginagawa nating proposal. Okay. So we will be focusing on three important concepts. First is the tricks. Ano ba yung importance ng framework and literature review section sa isang research or in your case, research proposal? For the tools, ano ba yung mga strategies na ginagamit natin? And I know I introduced to you the bibliographic management software. You have the Zotero, right? And finally, I'm going to share with you some of the values that you need to to inculcate as being a researcher, a nurse researcher. Okay. So, previously sabi natin, just a review lang po, ang research ay may dalawang approaches. So, first is the qualitative and second would be the quantitative. And I know you know this very well already that when we discuss numbers, everything is being quantified, everything is being rated. So, that's quantitative. If you give a survey, that's quantitative. However, on the qualitative end, when we say qualitative, we are more on the experiences of individuals. So therefore, individual interviews or focus group discussion would be the most appropriate form of data gathering. In terms of data analysis, we know that in quantitative, we are using statistics, but in the end, that's not your problem. We have statisticians at the university who will be assisting you, no, in interpreting the statistical results because they will be the one to process it and they will explain it to you. And for the qualitative, so we can do it on our own, and we will be discussing also on how you can process your qualitative research findings. Okay. Again, our format is IMRAD. However, in our university, meron tayong tinatawag na modified IMRAD format. So when we say modified IMRAD format, meron tayong dinagdag na mga section. So again, so 1.0 is introduction, 2.0 is literature review consisting of framework and review of literature, 3.0 is methods, 4.0 is result, and 5.0 is discussion. So dinadagdagan natin minsan ng conclusion and of course ng inyong recommendation. And again, ang goal natin for NURES 1 would be at the end of the semester, you will be presenting your proposal. So this will be very exciting kasi I will be coaching you on how you can create your proposal PowerPoint. Then magpa-practice din tayo para if in case kapag proposal defense po kayo, so you will be getting a high score. Okay, so ang goal natin sa inyo, maka 90 and above kayo because that is equivalent to one, of course, examination. And that will be your uh, final examination. Okay? No final exams because that would be the grade for your proposal. Okay? Kung ano yung grade nyo during the proposal presentation, so that will serve as your final exam. Okay. Guys, natatandaan nyo pa yung two essential talents in research? The one that I introduced to you on our first meeting. Ano yung dalawang important na talent or competency na dapat meron kayo for you to be able to come up with a good research paper? Can you still remember? Anyone? You can mute. Or you can type in on the chat kapag nahihiya. Kung kumakain kayo ngayon, okay, so you can just type in at your chat. Again, what are the two skills, essential skills? Can you still remember lugaw? What is lugaw? Anyone? Can you still remember lugaw concept? Guys, hello? Literature, what is you? What's that? Lugaw. Literature, what is you? Oy guys, nadisi ba ako?
Hindi po,
Nadisi?
sir. Basta,
Hindi.
sir,
Okay,
naalala
sige.
lang namin, sir.
Sige, naalala natin. Okay, so what is lugaw? Literature, understanding. What is G? Geared with. What is AW? Adept writing. Ayan, sinabi ko na. So again, so what are the two essential skills or talents in research na dapat meron kayo para maging successful yung research paper natin? So number one is literature understanding geared with adept writing. So yun yung tinatawag nating lugaw para mas madali nating matandaan. Essential, no? Lugaw is essential. Literature understanding geared with adept writing. So when we say lugaw, okay, literature understanding, so it refers to reading, di ba? So dapat mahilig kayo magbasa kasi kapag nagbasa kayo, iyan yung isa-cite nyo doon sa inyong research paper. Kaya nga, in your prelim exam, okay, so I ask you to put there a table at the beginning because it will tell me that you are reading something na i-convert nyo into write-up. Okay, or isa-cite nyo kapag nag-write kayo. Okay, next would be adept writing. So kung yung isa yung reading, the other one naman is writing. You should have the skill of writing a research paper. I know it is very challenging at first. So that's the role of your advisor. Kaya nga nandito ko para kahit papano re-refine natin and you will see how your write-ups are being improved and you will be learning from that. Okay, and I think I already told you that as a person, I really love reading. Okay, I really love reading since young I'm reading novels. So I know grade 3 pa lang ako noon natapos ko na yung Lord of the Rings ni Tolkien. And starting nung high school, no, I'm starting to read Harry Potter books. So nung lumabas yung Harry Potter, hindi pa siya ganoon kasikat. Pero nagustuhan ko na talaga siya and I'm looking forward reading the next Harry Potter book. Okay, and hanggang naging college, okay, nung naging college na ako, okay, so doon na no naging kilala doon si Harry Potter. And I remember I used to attend mga launching events sa Philippines, especially doon sa Fully Book which is located in BGC because I really love of course reading. And as early as now, I hope you love reading as well. Not only reading novels, but of course, reading nursing books. Kasi if you really love reading, marami kayong matututunan. Okay. And hopefully, you can consider reading as a pleasurable activity. Di ba? So that you are looking forward, no? So reading a book, etc., because it will really help you, especially if you're doing research, reading research articles that are related to your topic, reading research articles that are similar to the one that you are working on will give you an idea on how previous researchers are doing their research on specific topic of interest. And that is the reason why, sabi ko nga, whenever I visit countries, I always visit libraries. Yan. So, nung sa Hopkins, when I studied at Hopkins, no, ito yung library ng Hopkins. Peabody Library yung tawag nila. And this is one of the most Instagrammable libraries out there. Yan. Yung picture pa, no. When I visit Canada, okay, isa sa mga futuristic library na nakita ko is yung Calgary Public Library. Okay? And when I visit other countries, so lagi akong pumupunta ng library. I don't know, but I'm really fond of, seeing books on the shelves. And for me, in my home, meron akong parang mini library doon. Lahat ng mga novels na nagustuhan ko, may it be related to entertainment or related to research, related to nursing. So meron akong collection ng mga books that I really love. Okay, again, what is Lugaw? Literature understanding, geared with adept writing. Also, in previous weeks, we discussed an overview on how you manage your research articles, di ba? Sabi natin, kapag meron kayong nagustuhang research or meron kayong gustong research na isite, so pinapasok na natin siya sa Covidence, sa Zotero. Then, from the Zotero, no, gumagawa tayo ng summary table. Ano yung sinabi doon sa article na yon na pwede namin i-cite at nilalagay nyo yung DOI sa dulo. So, ano yung purpose ng DOI? Kasi yun yung i-input sa Zotero para ma-automate natin siya. Okay. So at this point, we will now pivot doon sa section ng literature review. So let me review to you yung research conceptualization. Paano ba natin na-conceptualize yung ating research? So first, I ask you to select your topic. If you can still remember at the Rice Tower, I ask you to list down your topic of interest. So in research, after selecting your topic, you need to read literature. Okay, you need to study your topic very well because you will be working on that. Then after that, select the variables of your study, construct a simulacrum. Okay, so again, after selecting your topic, read the literature, select variables of the study, and identify your simulacrum or your framework. Okay, we are done with selecting your topic. How about the next one? So we are now going to review related literature. And when we say reviewing literature, meaning nagbabasa kayo ng mga articles that are related to your topic. Technically, in research, we call that reconnaissance. Okay? So ang tawag doon sa pagbabasa ng articles or any related readings related to your topic na wino-work on research would be reconnaissance. Okay? And since you are six in the group, I would suggest, no, meron kayong mga frequent reading sessions. So magbabasa kayo ng isang article, then ilalagay nyo yung mga citable phrases doon, ilagay nyo, i-tabulate nyo siya with the DOI number, and i-share nyo yun sa group para later on, kapag nagsulat kayo, so maraming gumagawa no, ng reading. So again, immersing yourself on your topic through reviewing related articles, ang tawag natin doon technically sa research ay reconnaissance. Okay? So, yung process ng literature review, although part siya ng manuscript, merong mga research paper na yun mismo yung pinaka-research. Yung proseso pa lang ng pag-review ng literature, sometimes ginagawa na nilang article. So ang purpose ng research would be to review, for example, yung mga articles related to the field. Kaya nga meron tayong apat na ano no, na practice ng literature review. So nagre-review kayo ng literature because currently that is part of your research paper. Okay? So minsan nagre-review kayo ng literature kung yan ay part ng inyong course, di ba? For example, if you're taking medical surgical nursing, your professor will ask you to read books or read this particular chapter. Kaya reconnaissance din ang tawag doon kasi nagre-review ka ng literature although ang purpose mo is for course assignment. Okay, and of course, if nagre-review ka ng literature for a specific research, yan, so journal studies naman yung tawag natin doon. And yung mga researchers na nagpo-produce ng mga publication na yung laman lang nun is ina-analyze lang nila yung previous literature, ang tawag natin doon ay literature analysis. So, pang-graduate school yun. So, ang ginagawa nyo ngayon ay literature review for what purpose? Because that is part of your baby thesis na tinatawag. No? And sa graduate school, ang tawag natin doon ay dissertation. Yung mga nagma-masters, nag-PhD. So, ang tawag natin doon ay thesis or dissertation. Pero for undergrad, we sometimes call that baby thesis because that is your first attempt. Kapag undergrad, you usually do research paper as a group. However, for the graduate school, you do research on your own because medyo advanced na po yun, di ba? Okay, and doing a research in the undergrad is a good practice for everyone, especially if you would like to pursue Master of Arts in Nursing or PhD in Nursing in the near future. So meaning, we might not appreciate it, pero kahit hindi research, nagle-literature review tayo. Di ba? So, kapag may assignment, okay, and kapag merong mga specific task na binibigay ang professor, and sa mga graduate school students, sa advanced, ginagawa na nilang research paper, yung pagbabasa pa lang ng literature review. If you will search the database, meron kayong makikita sa title na a literature review, a scoping review, an integrative review. So, publications na yon as a whole. Pero tayo, ginagawa lang natin siya because isa siyang section ng ating research proposal or research paper. And again, anong section po yon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Anong
Two.
section po? Very good. So 2.0 is allotted for literature review. At again, dalawa po ang section ng literature review write-up, framework, and of course, you have your literature review proper. Okay, so i-discuss po natin yun ngayon. So let me give you an example of a literature review paper na publication na. Okay? So ito. So this is one of my favorite articles. I published this article way back in 2022. Okay. So yes, okay, yes, of course. It's okay to watch the video later on. I receive a direct question from the chat. Okay, so this is one of my favorite research paper na na-publish ko na purely literature review siya. Okay, this is about nursing and human-computer interaction in healthcare robots for older people. An integrative review. So ang ginawa ko, nagbasa ako ng mga articles na in-extract ko sa mga research databases about nursing, about human-computer interaction, yung mga healthcare robots na ginagamit in caring for older adults. And na-publish ko siya as a separate paper. Okay? So, ayun, no? So, of course, this is quite advanced, pero sabi ko nga, yung literature na ginagawa natin ngayon is part of our manuscript as 2.0. So, ano ba yung benefit kapag nagli-literature review ka, kapag gumagawa ka ng mga research articles? Okay? So, ano ba yung benefit? Magbigay nga po ng benefit. Anyone? Magbigay nga po ng benefit. Sige na. Okay, wait, I'll just get some water. Guys, kapag gumagawa ka ng research, kapag nagbabasa ka ng articles, anong benefit?
It will
Yes.
help to give you an idea or another perspective of how you will create
Very,
your own research, like a guide.
very good. Of course, di ba? We know human development. And sabi natin, ang mga adolescents, no, ang mga teenagers, initially they like may marami silang mga idol, 'di ba? For example, Beanie, 'yan. Kasi ginagaya nila si Beanie because the tendency of a person navigating a certain new thing in their life would be to refer to other persons, 'di ba? And for you guys as a researcher, as a beginning researchers, as my baby researchers, okay? So, pwede kayong magbasa ng mga article na related sa topic nyo. And sabi nga nung classmate nyo, no, makikita nyo doon kung paano nila ginawa yung research nila or maintindihan nyo yung topic. So, pwede siyang magbigay ng context, pwede siyang magbigay ng content, and pwede mo ring i-compare yung ginagawa mo ngayon. Okay. Also, in the chat box from Cassandra, sabi niya, it gives inspiration for future researchers. Very good. So, um, actually informs you, give you inspiration on the process on how you will work on your paper. Very good, no? Miguel, I would like to highlight what you mentioned. It serves as a foundation for your paper. Okay, it serves as a foundation for your paper. Reading previous literature will make you concretize your product. It will make your paper of good quality kasi kapag nabasa yung article tapos marami kang ano no, marami kang sinite doon, it means pinag-aralan mo talaga. Okay, and also another is academic growth. Yes, because you have lots of questions. If you are working on a research paper, you will learn something new. Uy, pwede palang gawin yon. Uy, ang ganda naman ng pagkakasulat nila. Ang ganda ng framework nung ginawa nila. So, it will actually give you, of course, an idea and how you can improve your craft. Okay, to previous and study to gain insights into the aspect. Yes, the number of research articles that you are reading will somewhat be parallel to the quality and quantity of of your research paper that you're going to produce. Okay? Sige. So yon, very good responses. These are the benefits of doing a literature review. Okay. So right now, let us discuss, ano ba yung mga different types ng literature na pwede niyong basahin? 'Di ba? Although, sabi nga ni Doc MJ, ang ating priority would be research paper. Kasi gumagawa tayo ng research eh. So therefore, dapat yung ingredients natin na ilalagay din natin doon would be coming from a research paper. Kaya nga siya tinawag na research. You are building on previous studies and you are creating a new research but you cite previous studies. So sabi nga kanina ng classmate niyo, foundation, di ba? Okay, so mas maganda kung quality yung research, yung literature na binabasa nyo, example, yung mga research papers, quality yung magiging product. It's just like cooking a certain, recipe. Kapag quality ang mga ingredients, quality din yung lalabas. Pero for example, kapag tinipid yung ingredients, okay, so hindi ganun kaganda yung lalabasan. Okay. So marami tayong types ng literature. So meron tayong types of literature according sa kung saan siya kinuha. Okay, merong mga literature na galing sa books. We call that the conceptual literature. We also have literatures na galing sa mga journals. Tawag natin doon ay research literature. And for those sources na hindi nabanggit, not books or not research journal, ang tawag natin doon ay gray literature. And medyo delikado yun kasi hindi yung nagdaan ng peer review. Okay, pero sabi nga natin, anong priority natin? Research journal. As much as possible, kung research journal yung mga sinasite nyo, no, pinagkuhanan nyo ng mga sinite nyo, mas maganda siya. Okay, pwede rin naman kayong magkumuha sa books, pero I would not suggest that kasi hindi siya ganun ka-updated as compared to a research literature. Okay? And yung gray, as much as possible, we don't use gray. Okay? Jacqueline, you have questions?
What about sir kunyari mga PSA, may mga need po kasi kami, may mga statistics like mga sa PSA po kunyari, sa Philippine Statistics Authority. Pwede po ba kami kumuha doon ng mga citation like if need po
Yes,
talaga namin?
that's
Okay lang
true.
po yun kasi yun
Yes,
yung naisip po namin kasi sa introduction namin sir.
yes, that's true. Kasi
Kaso di
ano
namin
eh,
inad.
very good. You can also use that kasi galing naman siya from a reliable source. For example, may nakita kayong literature pero galing sa blog, questionable. Pero kapag, for example, nagbisita kayo ng World Health Organization website at meron sila dong mga publications, may mga white paper sila, mga backgrounder sa mga diseases, for example, reliable din yon. Kasi knowing WHO, lahat ng pinapublish nila, nag-undergo ng peer review, nag-undergo din ng research. Kaya nga may sinasite din sila. So that is considered a research paper. So yes, you can get literature also from reliable sources. Alam naman natin kung sino yung mga reliable sources. DOH, di ba? So you have your PSA. So that would be, of course, acceptable as well. Di ba? Okay. So yun yung types according to source. However, we also have types according to quality. Merong mga sources kasi na hindi peer-reviewed. So, if you're going to relate to previous, gray literature yun. Meron tayong mga peer-reviewed articles. At may mga articles na theoretical at research article. Pag sinabi nating theoretical articles, ito yung mga letter to the editor, 'di ba? Editorial, 'di ba? Simple essay coming from experts pero na peer-reviewed siya. And yung pinaka-common is yung mga research literature. Yung mabasa nyo pa lang yung article, alam nyo ng research siya kasi may introduction, may methods, may data collection, may analysis. Okay? And ang research, sabi natin, may approaches. Merong qualitative research, may quantitative research, at merong mga mix approach research na quali and quanti combination. Di ba? So, merong mga research papers na purely quanti. May mga research papers na purely qualitative. Okay? So, yon. Syempre, hindi nyo siya mababasa kung hindi nyo siya madadownload. The problem now is, karamihan ng mga research databases, meron bayad, no? Especially mga quality control ng mga articles. Pero meron din naman na open source na tinatawag. Pag sinabi nating open source, libre, available, you can access it. Di ba? Kasi merong nagfa-fund yan at the offset, no? Okay, so minsan frustrate tayo, no? Minsan nagse-search tayo sa Google, tapos makikita natin abstract lang, then you need to buy, etc. So ano 'yon, nakaka-depress, 'di ba? Sa katulad dito, no? When you find a perfect article but only the abstract is available, all right then, keep your secrets. Okay, kasi ngayon may mga debate ngayon sa research eh. Kawawa naman daw ang mga developing countries such as the Philippines. Unlike here in the US, available lahat, no? Kasi meron silang budget, mayamang bansa, eh, 'di ba? Pero ang Pilipinas, syempre kung magsa-subscribe ka sa mga databases, millions kasi 'yan annually. Annual 'yon, ha? Okay, so syempre parang nagkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag nating information divide or knowledge divide kasi mas privilege yung mga nasa developed countries as compared to developing. Kaya nga marami ngayon na mga foundation and mga groups na nagpo-promote ng tinatawag nating open source publication na kapag nag-publish sila, magiging available no yung article for access ng everyone. Okay? Sige. And you're very fortunate kasi you're a student of Fatima. Okay, annually, the university is paying millions for the subscription to Science Direct. Okay? Pero ako, kapag gumagawa ako ng mga health research, ang lagi kong chine-check would be PubMed. So although hindi lahat ng article sa PubMed ay libre kasi may link yan, okay? So most articles are available for free kasi health research yan, kaya PubMed yung database. Okay. Sa university, marami tayong LRC resources or library resources. Diba? Okay? So example niyan na meron tayong subscription Science Direct. Science Direct lang sapat na. Bakit? Science Direct is the best research database. And I tell you, the university is paying millions annually for you to have access to Science Direct. Bakit ko alam? I'm the director. And I know how much support the university administration is giving everyone for research. Kaya ang yabang ng mga Fatima student, no? They have access to Science Direct. Some other universities don't have access because of the cost of the of the subscription, but OLFU decided to subscribe because they want you to produce quality research paper. Okay? So, what if merong article na hindi kasama sa journals ng Science Direct, nakita nyo? So, saan nyo pwedeng i-download? Alam ko, merong website wherein nakakapag-download kayo ng article kahit may bayad. Okay. Hindi ko na lang babanggitin kasi of course that would be illegal. Pero alam ko medyo ano yan eh. Medyo extensive yan. Yung ano na yan. Kayo na bahalang ano. Kayo na bahalang mag-alam. Pero may mga websites na nag-o-offer ng ano no. Yun. yung mga uh, options for everyone to download a research article. Okay. Nagcha-choppy ba ako? Sorry. Nagcha-choppy ba ako? No.
Hindi, hindi
Ah,
naman po.
okay, hindi naman. Okay. And what if hindi nyo alam yon, yung website na yon? Okay? Uh, you can reach out to me because I have access to everything. Okay? Bakit? Because I'm an alumnus of Johns Hopkins and I'm also working on my postdoctoral research here at the University of Central Florida. Kaya, ayun, I have access to everything. I have access to everything here. Yeah, so sabihin nyo lang sa akin yung DOI number sa yung title. Then we will give that to you. You just reach out to me through email. That's the reason why I only get, two sections for research ngayong semester. Kasi I really want to focus on supporting you guys. Okay, if I get a lot of groups, I know I cannot handle it properly. Kaya my limit for this semester is only two sections. Okay? Maliwanag po yun ha. Pag may nakita kayo online na meron siyang paywall na tinatawag. So you just send me the title and the DOI number and you can send that to me sa email. You just introduce yourself that you are my student, then I will provide you with a copy of the article. Okay? Pero sabi ko nga sa inyo, Science Direct lang, sapat na. When I was having nung master's ako, wala pa eh. When I was having my PhD sa UST, Science Direct lang, sapat na para sa akin, no? So yun. Um, these are some of the databases na available, no? May ProQuest, may JSTOR, may Science Direct, then may EBSCO Hostbooks. Pero sabi ko nga, may mga um, online sources na open source na equally quality naman yung research, 'di ba? So pero kapag gumagawa ako ng mga health research again, usually yung portal na ginagamit ko is PubMed. Database kasi siya na pwedeng mag-link ni PubMed doon sa mga other databases. Yun nga lang kung may subscription ka, you can access, pero if you don't have subscription, okay, call a friend, call Doc MJ or you send me an email. Okay? So how to effectively Okay. So how to effectively search ba the research article? Ako, kapag nag-search ako ng article, usually ang ginagamit ko, gumagamit din ako ng Google Scholar. Are you familiar with Google Scholar, guys?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay, very
Lagay
good.
po ako nasa
Okay, yung sa iba sa inyo, alam ko sa Google Scholar, of course, nag-search ng ano po, no? So, tingnan po natin dito, okay? Maganda kasi yung Google Scholar. 'Di ba meron kayong Gmail account? Okay, if I can share to you. Can you see my screen right now? So
Yes po.
once naka-subscribe kayo if you have a Gmail account, definitely you can access Google Scholar. So you just type in yung mga keywords. So lalabas na yung mga research. For example, MPOX. Diba? So try natin. MPOX. For example, naghahanap kayo ng questionnaire about MPOX. So ang dami dyan, di ba? Ang kagandahan din, if you are subscribed if you have your Gmail account, you have access to Google Scholar, you can also monitor your performance as a researcher. Kasi automatic, kapag merong article ka na na-publish, lalabas yan sa profile mo. So nakita nyo? Okay, I have my profile here automatically. Nandyan yung aking field of study. I have more hundreds of articles that I published and I am being cited by previous researchers. Nakita nyo, 2017, that's when I graduated from my PhD. So yan, nakita nyo naman, technically papataas siya. So ngayon, 2024, 92 na yung nag-cite sa akin. So ang goal ko, mas maraming mag-cite sa akin, which is sa tingin ko, masusurpass ko yung 2023 na 101 citations ng mga articles. Okay, and ngayon 92 and still October. So merong pang 2 months, tataas yan. No? So namomonitor ko yung mga performance ko. And Chine-check ko din to, no? Ito din yung ginagamit ko, for example, attend ako ng mga conference. Tapos yung isang speaker, magto-talk siya about research. Okay, tingnan ko nga, researcher ba talaga to? Kasi di ba, you cannot give what you don't have. And sa Pilipinas, maraming ano na, researcher ako, pero wala namang publications. Okay, so ang ginagawa ko, sinesearch ko sila dito. Then kapag nakita ko, ay, wala naman pala siyang research eh. O ang research siya, dalawa, tatlo lang, ganyan. Pero yon. And Google Scholar is also being used internationally to rank persons. And ako kasi, I'm receiving a lot of speakership invitations, not only in the Philippines and even abroad, because of my research performance. Okay? So yon. So at a very young age, I already established my reputation when it comes to research because of my high impact, of course, publications. Okay. And that is my goal, no? So i-transfer ko sa inyo yung skill na yon, and hopefully I can I can inspire students to do research. Kasi when I was an undergrad, for me, research requirement lang 'yan. Oo, that I need to that I need to pursue. Pero later on na-realize ko, if you are a researcher, if you are a good researcher, maraming opportunities na darating sa iyo. I was given a scholarship at Johns Hopkins because of my research skills. And now I'm accepted at the University of Central Florida as a postdoctoral researcher because of my research skills. 'Di ba? And UCF is UCF. It's one of the top 10 universities, of course, in the US, and it's government funded. Okay, going back, PubMed, 'di ba? So kapag search ka sa PubMed, usually tina-type mo lang diyan yung topic, no? Pero ako, iba yung ginagawa ko. So paano ginagawa natin? Sa bandang baba ng website ng PubMed, may makikita kayong apat na icons. So take a look at the last icon kasi mas magiging precise yung search nyo. So ano nakalagay doon? Explore Mesh Database Journal. Okay, kapag kinlik nyo yon, mag-iiba yung interface niya. So magta-type kayo ng topic. So for example, COVID-19, type nyo lang dyan. So may lalabas na mga subtopics under COVID-19. So for example, dito, when I type in COVID-19, lumabas yung COVID-19 in general, COVID-19 serological testing sa blood, COVID-19 vaccine, and COVID-19 testing. So kung ang topic nyo ay about general COVID-19, i-click nyo yung first. Okay? Pero kung ikaw ay medical doctor, na more on ang ginagawa mo, laboratory research, serological testing, i-click mo yung number 2. So, mas nagiging precise siya. So, pwede din akong mag-search ng dalawang topics. For example, I would like to know COVID-19 research in relation to other topics as well. So, ang ginagawa ko, kiniklik ko lang yun, tapos ina-add ko dun sa search builder. Okay? And for example, gusto kong hanapin yung mga research about health education sa COVID-19. So, 'di ba nilagay ko na yung no, yung COVID-19 doon sa search builder. So, pupunta ulit ako doon sa search box. Ta-type ko naman health education. Then pagka-type ko ng health education, lalabas na naman yung mga options. Ano ba yung pinaka sakto doon sa gusto kong malaman? So meron tayong apat. Health education in general. Health education related to dental health. Syempre hindi. Area health education centers, hindi. Education public health professional about mga health professional. So definitely yung research na gusto kong lumabas later on ay related sa COVID-19 na health education in general. So I'm going to click again on that particular box. Then i-add ko siya sa search builder. Okay, dapat naka-end yung option sa kanan. So when I click on that, i-click ko na yung search PubMed. So makita nyo, dalawang concept yung hinahanap ko sa research. Dapat yung mga research na about COVID-19 and health education. So may lalabas na ganito dito eh. Yon. So kapag sinearch nyo yung PubMed, lalabas mas precise yung article na magiging resulta nun. It's all about COVID-19 and of course health education. And as you can see here, how many results? 628 results. So makikita nyo dito kung yung article nyo ay free. Okay. So kapag kinlik nyo siya, automatically malalabas yung mga articles na free for that. Okay, for example, gusto kong ano, no? Gusto kong magpa-impress kay Doc MJ. Gusto ko yung articles ay within this year lang. Pwede nyo siyang i-adjust. Pero since ang topic ko ay COVID-19, alam naman natin yung COVID-19 naging prominent lang yun ng 2020. Kaya yan lang lumabas starting 2020. Pero okay, sa mga ibang topics na talagang kahit before pa, may lalabas dyan na hanggang from 1990, etc. So you can actually refine. So i-move nyo lang yan na you want to show those articles that are 2020, for example, pataas. So pwede naman po yun. Okay. So your status right now is very conducive to work on a research paper. Bakit? Kasi marami kayo sa grupo. Pwede niyong hatiin yung trabaho. You can assign everyone. Okay, so for example, for one member, magbasa ka ng 5. Tapos gawa ka ng table. Ano yung pwedeng i-cite? Ano yung DOI? Kasi later on, input natin sa Zotero. Tapos isusulat natin yung article or yung paragraphs related to with the citations na sinamarize nyo. Okay. So, how many number of articles yung maganda nating basahin, 'di ba? So siguro for me for my experience with mentoring students, kapag undergrad 10 articles per person. So naka 16 na kayo, marami na kayong sa site. For masters 50 articles and for PhD usually mga 100 articles po siya. Okay, so medyo madami, no? Okay, and guys, kapag sinabi kong reading research articles, it's not you're going to comprehend totally kung ano yung ginawa nilang research. Not like that. Siguro pwede yung i-scan yung ibang mga bagay kasi most of them siguro hindi pa na-introduce sa inyo kasi beginning researchers, we're just discussing those topics that are really basic and yung pinaka dapat kailangan nyo. So may mga instances dyan na minsan hindi nyo ma-understand yung analysis. Minsan hindi nyo ma-understand yung ginawa nilang process kasi meron silang mga binabanggit na mga terminologies. No worries about that because you're just starting. But I don't want to restrict you on seeing the article sa real world. Di ba? So don't worry, you will get there, especially if you will be honing your research skills not only in the undergrad, but for masters and of course you have your PhD. Okay, kapag nagbasa ako ng article, it's not really yung dapat talaga ano ko, I mean, i-understand ko talaga fully yung paper. No, not that. If you are doing a literature review, if you're doing a literature review, if you are doing reconnaissance for a research paper, merong way or paraan ng pagbabasa. Not necessarily babasahin mo yung lahat. And this was, of course, an article that is available free, okay, online. So the title is Art of Reading a Journal Article, Methodically and Effectively. So meron silang mga suggestions doon kung paano daw ba magbasa ng research article kung ang purpose mo ay gumawa ka ng research paper at maghanap ka ng, of course, ng citation. Okay? So yung tinuro ko sa inyo na itatabulate nyo muna yung mga pwedeng citable mga passages from that particular research and lalagay nyo yung DOI or kung sinite lang din nila yon from previous study, ang ikokopyahin nyo yung DOI, yung sa reference, yung kung ano yung na-cite niya. 'Di ba? So yung practice na tinuro ko sa inyo, that is the most efficient. Okay? Especially kapag nag-start kayo, that's a good way. And when I'm doing my PhD, yun yung ginagamit kong approach. And hanggang ngayon, yun pa din kasi that is the best practice. Okay? And you are very fortunate, no? Kasi ang dami ng mga softwares ngayon na ginagamit, no? Para masummarize yung mga papers nyo, etc. Yung madali kayong mag-cite, especially yung tinatawag nating Zotero na tinuro ko po sa inyo. Okay? So kapag nagbasa kayo for the purpose of writing the literature review section of your proposal, I would suggest you assign individuals. So, ikaw, 5, okay? And then later on, pag-usapan natin, mag-summarize ka. Tapos, pagsamasamahin natin yon, then sulat natin yung article. Then mag-cite tayo ng pwede nating i-cite doon sa flow ng ating discussion. Okay. Doc, ano ba yung good practice? Siguro for your group, I would suggest mag-alat kayo kahit 1 hour na mag-meeting kayo as a group. Okay? I would suggest meron kayong tinatawag na uh, sabihin natin, Research Thursdays or Research Tuesdays, Research Mondays. Depende sa inyo kung ano yung available ng grupo nyo. Mag-alat lang kayo ng 1 hour para every week na work nyo yung research paper. Okay, dito sa UCF, ang technique ng mga estudyante, meron silang tinatawag na WAG groups, WAG. Pag sinabing WAG groups, Writing Accountability Group. So, paano yun? Naglalagin sila sa Zoom. Okay, naglalagin sila sa Zoom. Okay? Pagkalagi nila, kumustahan lang sila, ganyan. Then after that, mamaya, after ng mga 5 minutes na kumustahan, ito-turn off nila yung audio and video nila, then magwo-work sila sa research paper. Okay? Sige, try mo nga, gawa ka nga ng paragraph dyan. Then after 30 minutes, ito-turn on ulit yung video and microphone para magkakumustahan lang, kumusta yung ginagawa mo. So it's just like working on a research paper beside a friend. Pero ano nga lang, sabihin natin virtually. Di ba? So virtually. Mas maganda yon, mas may sense of responsibility and accountability. Kasi maglalagin ako intentionally, and habang nakalagin ako, naka-idle ako, nagwo-work ako ng research paper, then every now and then, check nyo yung isa't isa. Okay. Sige. So, these are the tools, these are the sources of literature na pwede nyong i-cite, na-discuss na natin yan. Ang tanong ngayon, how will you write your literature review section? Okay? So, yon. Sabi nila, a good literature review determines the critical knowledge gaps and not just what we already know, what we still need to know, and how we can get there. Okay, so meaning, kapag marami na kayong nabasa, pwede nyo silang i-summarize na merong research na ganito yung ginawa, may another research na ganito yung ginawa. So ano pa yung kulang sa mga previous research? So ang tawag natin doon ay gap. 'Di ba? So when we write the introduction, ilang approach yung tinuro ko sa inyo? Can you still remember? In writing the introduction, ilang section dapat ang introduction nyo?
6 po.
6. Okay, 6, 'di ba? Pero yung basic, na-discuss ko ba sa inyo ang tips?
Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir.
What is T?
Yung 3 po.
Trend. What
Trend,
is
issue,
I?
problem. Tapos,
Sentence of purpose. 'Di ba?
yes, sentence of purpose.
Okay. We also have the BRP. Background,
Background,
rationale,
risk,
and
problem.
problem. Okay, ano pa yung establish, establish? Establish territory,
Niche.
establish niche, very good, and occupy the niche.
Niche.
Pero pwede yung pag halu-haluin yung mga different parts, di ba? Sabi ko, di ba? Okay. Uh, ngayon naman, paano tayo susulat ng literature review? Dapat yung literature review natin ay meron tayong sections on the synoptic summary, meron tayong evidence and argument. Okay? So C ang code natin dyan. Kung ang introduction ay tips, verb, or establish, sa literature review section naman, paano natin sinusulat? Yung mga paragraphs, dapat meron siyang S, meron siyang E. Then sa pinakadulo, kasi for example, di ba, literature review, maraming paragraphs yun. May mga sections pa nga yun eh. Di ba? Which is, bibigay ko naman sa inyo yung outline na suggested ko based on your written introduction. Okay, dapat yung mga paragraph, dalawa yung component niya. May synoptic or summary at meron siyang evidence. So yung mga evidence, ito yung mga citations. Okay? Then sa pinakadulo, nung section ng after several paragraphs, doon kayo magbibigay ng argument. Okay? Pag sinabing argument, ano yung gap sa mga previous study? Okay? Ano pa yung hindi nagagawa? Okay? At iyon yung magiging purpose ng paper nyo. Na yung paper nyo, yung magiging sagot doon sa tanong o yung gap ng previous study. Example, labas muna tayo sa research. Pag sinabi nating synoptic, meaning summary yun. Okay, then evidence, mga ebidensya. Di ba? So for example, sinabi ng mom mo na gwapo or maganda ka. Summary ba yon? Yes, that's a summary. Then magbigay ka ng evidence. Bakit ka sinabing gwapo or maganda? Kasi matangos yung ilong mo, okay, maganda yung mata mo, very pleasing, pink yung lips mo, maganda yung ngipin, neat ka tingnan, di ba? So yun yung mga evidence. So kapag gumawa ka ng research, ganun din yung approach. Magbigay ka muna ng one sentence summary, then mag-provide ka ng evidence. Okay, example, previous studies about AI deals with uh, human perceptions on its use in education, for example. Summary ba yon? Yes, sinabi mo, yung mga previous study ay nagdi-deal sa human perceptions on the use of AI. Then magbigay ka ng evidence. For instance, wow, for instance, okay, for instance, Dinyo 2023 conducted a study involving etc. In addition or additionally, Santos, okay, evaluated the perception of students on the use of AI in their assignments. So yung mga ganun, di ba? Pwede yun eh. Kapag nabasa niyo yung maraming article, marami kayong pwedeng insight. So una muna, nagbigay ka ng topic sentence. Then yung mga susunod na mga sentences, ebidensya na nagpapatunay na oo nga, di ba? Na yung previous study nag-focused on human perceptions. Okay, first paragraph. Gawa ka ulit ng second paragraph. Ano yung summary ng paragraph mo? Then ano yung mga ebidensya? Di ba? Pwede mong sabihin, uh, there are AI studies in various parts of the globe. Okay. Pwede mo lagay doon, Dinyo conducted a study among Filipino students on the perception of ganyan. He found out that, pwede niyo sabihin yung naging resulta ng study. Meanwhile, so sabihin niyo yung additional, di ba? So evidence. Then sunod ko ulit ng next paragraph. Ano pa yung nakita mong pattern dun sa mga study previously? Nagbigay ka ng mga examples. Then sa dulo, sabihin mo yung argument mo. Okay? Ano yung kulang sa kanila? Ano yung kulang sa kanila na ang magiging sagot ay yung paper mo? Di ba? Okay, I will be giving you some examples. In 2000, I think this was 2016, no? 2016. Okay? I published a paper, okay, about technology, the use of, I think this is more on telehealth. Kasi may research ako ng telehealth noon. Okay? So, tingnan natin. Okay? Yung first sentence, sabi ko, the degree of ease associated with the use of the system corresponds to effort expectancy. Perceived ease of use, complexity, and ease of use from theories, respectively, capture the same denotation. So, meaning, ito lang yung mga common na ginagamit sa preview. So, ano yon? Summary yon. Diba? Therefore, magbibigay ako ng ebidensya. Okay. Previous research on elderly utilization of computers revealed conflicting results. Summary din yon. Redshell and Nisit claim that a number of older adults, blah, blah, blah. So, evidence yon. Then, for example, natapos na, no? Magbibigay ako doon ng something on the argument. Okay, in case of gender differences, previous studies reported that women were most likely to report higher computer anxiety than men. But those studies called for further scrutiny of the relation of certain predictors like effort expectancy. So yun yung argument. Okay? So by next meeting, I'm going to give you an outline of your review of related literature. So yung first trial natin, you will be working on one section, okay, of the literature review. Then magbibigay ako ng feedback. Then check nyo kung paano ko siya in-improve. Then you will continue the literature review. Okay? Sige. So yun yung component ng literature review. Kung ang introduction ay tips, burp, or establish, ang literature review, SE, SE, SE ang mga paragraph, then sa dulo, meron kang argument. Okay? Ano pa yung isang section ng literature review? Yung 2.0, sabi ko, dalawa yung components niyan.
Framework, sir.
Very good. So yung literature review, then sa unahan, meron siyang framework. Okay, 2.1, 2.2, di ba? So, ano ba yung framework? Kung yung literature review section, nagbibigay siya ng foundation kasi nire-review mo yung mga previous studies about your topic. Ano yung purpose ng framework? Di ba? Okay, example. Kapag magpapagawa ka ng bahay, ginagawa ba siya agad-agad? Or meron ka munang ipaplano? Di ba? So, meron bang blueprint na ginagawa? Yes.
Yes po.
Very good, no? Eksakto, Jacqueline, no? Structure or blueprint. Example, do you know the Rice Tower? Di ba may bago na tayong building na ginagawa ngayon sa medicine building? Tabi ng Rice Tower, di ba? So, meron tayong, yung Rice Tower, before yan na-build, ako yung nakatalikod na naka-blue. Okay? Yung Rice Tower, before yan na-build, yung kaninang pinakita ko sa inyo, yun yung blueprint nun. Okay? Nakita niyo tong sa taas na picture. Ano to sa tingin nyo ngayon? Ito yung virtual lab sa Rice Tower. Etong sa gitna, familiar? Familiar yung sa gitna?
Yung gym po. Yung court.
Ha? Court ba
Yung
yan?
court, sir.
No, it's not a court.
Yung ano,
Yung
lecture hall,
building po
sir.
ba yan?
Ano
No,
yan?
lecture hall, sir.
Very good. Lecture hall
Lecture
yan.
hall.
Yan yung ginagawa. But of course, nung before yung ginawa, meron tayong, of course, blueprint. Di ba? So may blueprint po yan. Okay, so yan. So diyan tayo nagle-lecture. Yan yung mga beginning, ano no, nung ginagawa yung Rice Tower. Okay, ang tanong ngayon, ano ba yung purpose ng framework section? At generally, ano bang purpose ng framework sa research? Bakit kailangan pa siya isama sa write-up? Ang framework, marami ang purpose, no? Pero ang pinaka-saktong purpose niyan is it gives tentative answer to your study inquiry or question. Okay? Kapag sinabi bang framework, ano ba yun? Ano ba yung pwede naming piliin? Framework lang ba? Pwede yung theories, pwede yung principle, or pwede yung concept. And may mga theories ba tayo sa nursing? May theories ba tayo sa nursing?
Yes, sir. Marami, sir.
Sige nga, magbigay nga kayo. Tingnan ko nga kung may natutunan sa first year.
Yung kay Nightingale, sir.
Ano yung kay Nightingale?
Wait lang, sir.
Environmental theory. Tama?
Yun.
That's environmental
Yes, sir.
theory. Ano ba sabi dun sa theory ni Nightingale na environmental theory?
Yung kahalagaan po ng sanitation
Very
for
good.
the well-being of the patients.
Very good. Okay, so for example, ano ba yung mga study na pwedeng ang theoretical framework niya ay environmental theory ni Nightingale? For example, gumagawa ka ng study about infection control. 'Di ba? Pwede bang makapagbigay ng background or tentative answer to your question ang theory ni Florence Nightingale? Yes. Kasi according to Florence Nightingale, kapag maayos ang environment, maayos din ang well-being ng pasyente. So kung gumagawa ka ng article about infection, so anong ano nun, anong kinalaman nun kay environmental theory? Kung ang tao, for example, post-operative client, kapag malinis ang paligid, hindi siya magkakaroon ng infection. Kapag malinis ang ginamit mo na ano no instrument during the operating room, hindi siya magde-develop ng infection. Pero kapag madumi yan, magde-develop ng infection. Does it something to do with maintaining a good environment? Yes. 'Di ba? Magbigay pa ng ano, theory sa nursing. Guys,
Yung psychosexual theory by Sigmund Freud po.
very good. Psychosexual theory. Ano ba sabi ng psychosexual theory? Eric Erikson, di ba?
Ah, psychosexual po is Sigmund Freud po. Yung kay
Sigmund
Erik
Freud. Oo,
Erikson,
tama, oo. Oo.
psychosocial po. Psychosocial kay
Psychosocial,
Erik
si Eric
Erikson.
Erikson. Trust versus mistrust, di ba?
Yes.
Oo. Si Sigmund Freud, ito yung phallic,
Yes,
di ba?
sir. Yun nga yung
Yun,
mga ganun.
okay. Tama, okay. So for example, ang study mo is about uh, adolescents, no? Ang mga adolescents, for example, ang study mo. At ang study mo about adolescents is about the coping mechanisms of adolescents in their, for example, in their navigation of life. Pwede bang maging reference si Eric Erikson as
Yes,
a
sir.
framework of your study? Yes. Kasi according to Eric Erikson, ang mga adolescents ay what? Ano kay Eric Erikson si
Um,
ano? Hmm.
Peer something. Nakalimutan.
Peer are the most important. Pero ano yung
Yes, sir.
stage na yon? Anyone? Ano yung stage na yon? Identity versus role confusion. Tama ba? Yes. Ano pa yung mga
Yes.
study na pwedeng mag-benefit doon? Ano pa yung mga study? For example, ang study mo is all about drug abuse among adolescents. Pwede bang maging tentative answer yung theory ni Eric Erikson? Yes. Na kasi kung i-relate natin dun sa sinabi ni Eric Erikson, kaya minsan gumagawa ng kakaiba ang mga adolescents kasi mga peer yung pinaka-importanting tao sa buhay nila. Eh kung ang mga peers nila ay gumagamit ng drugs, most probably baka maging ano na rin nila yun kasi that's a sense of belongingness. Di ba? So nakita nyo yung ano, nung importance ng mga theory. Di ba? Okay, and again, kapag framework, hindi lang basta theory. Pwedeng kuha ka lang ng principle ng theory yun o yung mga concept. Pwede rin po yun. And kapag gumawa ka ba ng nursing research, nursing theory lang ba ang pwede mong gamitin? Hindi. Pwede mo rin gamitin yung ibang discipline. Actually, Eric Erikson, hindi naman talaga yan nursing. Ginagamit lang din yan sa nursing, pero this is more on psychology. Diba? Sociology. Theory yan. Pero ginagamit din sa nursing. So meaning pwede ka bang mag-borrow sa other discipline? Okay? Pwede ka bang mag-borrow sa other discipline?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Gusto niyo pa isang example? Okay. Kung ang study mo is all about cheating. Example, why do college students cheat? No, yun yung study mo. And another would be chatting and cheating, ensuring academic integrity in the era of ChatGPT. Question, ano yung pwedeng theory, principle, or concept na gawin mong framework? Example. So again, ang study mo is about bakit ba nag-cheat yung mga estudyante? Okay? Pwede ka bang gumamit ng theory as framework? Yes. Example nito, Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. Can it provide a tentative answer to your question on why students cheat? Yes. According kasi kay Gardner, Ang mga tao may kanya-kanyang intelligence yan. You might not be cognitively intelligent, but you might be intelligent in other areas. 'Di ba? Hindi ka nga masyadong magaling cognitively, pero ang galing mo namang maggitara. So, maari bang reason yun kung bakit nag-cheat yung mga estudyante? Yes, because they are not good in other disciplines. They are not good in academic, but they are good in other, kanya-kanya, ang mga tao, kanya-kanyang ano yan eh. 'Di ba? Talento yan. You might not be good in this area, but you are good in this area. So, pwede ba siyang maging background dun sa study mo? Yes, because it will give a tentative answer to your question. What else? Hindi lang theory ang pwede natin gamitin. Pwede rin tayong gumamit ng mga principle. Example, yung principle ng survival of the fittest. Di ba? Principle of survival of the fittest. Can it provide answer to your question, research question, why do students cheat? Yes. Kasi according to the survival of the fittest, every human being will do anything to survive or for survival. Pwede bang maging tentative answer to your question yon? Yes, kasi according to the principle of survival of the fittest, gagawin ng taong lahat para sila ay mag-survive or ma-overcome nila yung mga challenges. So maaring kaya nag-cheat yung mga estudyante kasi gusto nilang pumasa at ma-move forward to the next level. Di ba? It provides answer to your question. Or kung ayaw mo naman ng theory or principle, hanap ka ng concept. Okay? Example, nung nag-take kayo ng computer classes, meron bang inintroduce sa inyo na concept ng GIGO? G-I-G-O? Yes. Okay. Ano ibig sabihin ng GIGO? GIGO? Garbage in, garbage out. Kapag nag-encode ka daw ng maling information sa computer, mali din yung ilalabas niya. Pwede bang maging tentative answer to your question? Yes. Kung bakit nag-cheat ang estudyante? Yes, kasi hindi ka naman nagtuturo. O kaya hindi maganda yung teaching methodology mo. Hindi mo sinisimplify yung mga research topics, for example. So, kung pangit yung finifeed ko sa inyo, pangit din yung lalabas. Di ba? So, ganun. Garbage in, garbage out. Question. Saan discipline galing ang Gagner's theory of multiple intelligence? Nursing ba? Hindi. Education. Pero pwede nyo gamitin. Saan galing ang principle of survival of the fittest? Ang field sociology. Pero pwede nyo gamitin sa mga nursing research. Saan galing ang concept GIGO? Sa computer science. Okay? Sa computer science siya galing. Pero pwede nyo gamitin. So therefore, pwede kayo mag-borrow from other disciplines. Tama po ba? Yes. Another example, are you familiar with this theory? Yung social learning theory ni Albert Bandura noong 1997. Okay. So, for example, sabi ni Bandura, para matuto daw ang estudyante, yung learning ng estudyante, depende daw yun sa tatlong factor. Una is personal factor. IQ, for example, attitude, expectation. Kung ang estudyante ay likas na matalino, kung ang estudyante ay masipag mag-aral, kung ang estudyante ay very proactive, personal factor yun. Nakaka-contribute yun sa student learning. Pero hindi lang yun. May mga magagaling na estudyante na hindi pa rin natututo. Bakit? Meron pa ibang factor. Ano yun? Behavior. Kung masikap ka, maayos yung behavior mo, nakakatulong din yun sa student learning. Yun lang ba? May mga estudyante na masikap at matalino pero hindi pa rin nagsasucceed. Or mas magaling pa rin yung ibang estudyante. Meron pa bang factor na nakakapekto sa student learning? Yes, environment. 'Di ba? Magaling ka, masikap ka, pero yung school mo wala namang science direct. Makakapag-produce ka ba ng magandang research? No. Because your environment will not provide you with your resources. Okay? Okay, dalawang estudyante. Yung isa, nasa below the poverty line. Yung isa, is nasa kanya lahat ng resources. May computer, top of the line, may access siya sa internet, mabilis, no? 100 Mbps. Mabilis ba yan? Okay. So, marami siyang resources. May subscription siya sa personal. Ganun siya kayaman. Di ba? So, meaning, kung magaling ka sa tatlo, personal, behavior, at maganda rin yung environment mo for learning, mas magiging magaling ka as compared with other. Pwede ba natin gamitin to as a theory that will support a study on how students learn? Or ano ba yung mga factors na pwedeng makatulong dun sa learning mo? Okay. Example, gagawa ka naman ng research about competency ng mga instructor mo sa online learning. Gaano ba sila kagaling? Ano yung pwede mong gamitin? Okay, or ang tanong mo, sino ba yung effective na teacher during the pandemic? So magsa-survey ka, for example, ng perception ng mga estudyante. Anong model or theory or concept or principle yung pwede mong gawin? So pwede mong gamitin yung TPACK. No? So for example, ang magaling daw na teacher sa Zoom or sa virtual, kailangan may knowledge about the subject. Content. Knowledge about the content. Kailangan magaling din silang magturo. Kasi merong mga teacher na matalino nga pero hindi naman sanay mag-impart ng knowledge. Ang tawag doon ay pedagogy or knowledge of teaching learning activity. Pero may mga teachers na matalino, magaling mag-discuss, pero sablay naman sa technology, hindi sanay gumamit ng Zoom. So mahalaga din daw na ganon. Again, may mga teacher na magaling sa subject at pagtuturo. May mga teacher naman na magaling sa technology at content, hindi naman magaling magturo. May mga teacher na magaling sa technology at pagtuturo, pero kulang naman yung knowledge about the subject. So ano daw ang magaling na teacher? Combination ng lahat na yan. At ang tawag natin dyan ay technological, pedagogical, knowledge content. Okay? So yun, ito yung framework na pwede nyo gamitin. So again, theory gives tentative answer to your question. Okay? Naintindihan po ba? Question, Doc, hindi mo kami magaling sa theory. Okay. Siyempre, undergraduate students kayo at ang diniscuss lang sa inyo ay mga theory ng nursing. So that is the reason why makakatulong talaga yung internet sa inyo kasi pwede yung for example, ang study nyo is all about, sabihin natin, premarital sex. So, search nyo lang sa internet. Theories related to premarital sex. So, lalabas naman doon. So, pwede nyo mabasa or aralin nyo yung theory. Ano ba yung sinasabi ng theory na yan? Pero ako na nagsasabi sa inyo, if you would like to be a good researcher in the future, dapat marami kang alam na theories. Kasi kapag marami kang alam na theories, marami kang pwedeng i-relate ng mga study mo. O kapag gumawa ka ng study, oy, pwede itong gamitin. 'Di ba? Especially sa nursing, about behavior. For example, ang topic mo is about compliance ng mga pasyente sa uh, medication regimen. Kasi 'di ba may mga pasyente na hindi man sumusunod. So anong pwedeng theory doon? TRA, Theory of Reasoned Action. 'Di ba? Sabi sa theory na yon, may dahilan ang bawat action ng isang tao. Ayun, so it provides a tentative answer to your question. Okay, moving forward, paano ngayon isulat ang research framework? Kung ang introduction ay tips, verb, establish, at ang literature review ay SEC, okay? SEA pala, sorry. So SEA, what is SEA? Synoptic or summary, evidence, and argument. Ano naman daw ang what? Sa research framework. Actually, maiksi lang ang framework write-up. Kasi dito, SEC naman siya. Kanina SEA, synoptic, evidence, argument. Dito sa theory, ano naman siya? SEC, SEC. State the theory, explain the theory, and contextualize the theory. Pag sinabing state, sasabihin nyo lang kung ano yung ginamit na theory sa paper nyo or principle or concept. Example, a number of theories focus on the interplay between role demands and resources according to Karasek's demand control model. Okay, so sinabi nyo lang ba yung theory? Yes. Other ways of saying that the theory of reasoned action is used in this study, or the theoretical framework of this study is anchored on Bandura's theory, or Bandura provided the theoretical underpinning of this study. The theoretical anchor of this study is based on Nightingale's environmental theory. Di ba? So basta state nyo lang, ano yung ginamit nyo? Or ano yung theory na magpo-provide ng framework sa study? Then after that, explain mo yung theory. Question, theory mo ba yan or theory ng ibang tao?
Ibang tao po.
Ibang tao. So therefore, makikita nyo, kailangan bang mag-cite? Yes, kasi hindi mo naman theory yan. So kailangan mag-provide ka ng citation. Kapag in-explain mo yung theory, bakit? Hindi mo theory yan eh. 'Di ba? So dapat maghanap kayo ng literature about that theory at yun yung isa-cite nyo. Then after that, explain nyo paano nakarelate yung theory na yan sa present paper. 'Di ba? Okay. Pwedeng sabihin, this theory might explain the reason on why certain patients are not adherent to medication regimen. The factors identified in the model might serve as a tentative answer to the research question. So, ganun lang. Diba? So, if about learning naman yan, for example, this theory of Bandura is relevant to the present study because it provided several factors on why students fail in their exams, namely environment, blah, 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 and ganon, which may provide an interplay on how students successfully learn inside the classroom. So ganun lang. State, explain, and of course, contextualize. So by next meeting, after I check your introduction, isusulat ko na doon, no? Po-provide ako doon ng ng outline on ano yung mga possible na theory na pwede nyong i-mention and ano yung structure ng literature review. Ilang sections ang literature review. Ilalagay ko doon kung ano yung dapat nyong i-discuss for every section. Okay? Para ano natin. Pero syempre, you need to do an effort. Kailangan mag-tabulate kayo ng pwede nyong i-cite o yung mga example ng mga previous studies na pwede nyong i-cite at yung DOI. Kasi later on, susulat nyo siya. Okay? Did you learn something today about theory and literature review relevance? May
Yes,
natutunan po
Doc.
ba? O hindi kayo
Yes.
nakikinig kumakain kayo? Okay. So yun.
Nakikinig, sir.
So, very good. So hopefully may natutunan kayo. So before I let you go, parang kanta, no? Before I let you go. Okay, so I want to share with you ang traits ng isang good researcher. 'Di ba? So working on a research is really challenging, especially kapag first time nyo, no, 'di ba? Working on a research paper parang ganito. Kapag nakikinig kayo kay Doc MJ, pa sip-sip lang kayo ng tsaa, o relax-relax lang kayo. Kapag nagtanong si Doc MJ minsan, ayaw nyo pang sumagot kasi you're thinking baka mali yung sagot ko. 'Di ba? Kapag pinag-present kayo, ay, kayang-kaya nung kagrupo ko, kayang-kaya nung leader yan. And kapag nakinig kayo kay Doc MJ, parang ang ano lang, light lang, no? Pero kapag ginagawa niyo na siya, paano nga ba yun? Paano ko ba isusulat to? Di ba? So really, doing a research paper is really challenging. And you know what? I conducted a study way back in 2010. No, I conducted a study way back 2010. Qualitative study siya. Nag-interview ako ng mga graduate school students. Kasi ang tanong ko, bakit may mga estudyante na nakakatapos ng research? May mga estudyante naman, laging nade-delay or dine-delay nila. 'Di ba? Ano kaya yung pwede kong makita dun sa mga experience nila? So ang research question ko ay ano ba yung mindset at mga ano no, yung sense making ng isang successful researcher or mga successful researcher. Gusto kong malaman, bakit pa kayo nakatapos? Eh, ba't yung iba hindi? So, in-interview ko sila ganyan, tapos in-analyze ko yung data, nag-create ako ng something, a model that can explain on why successful researchers achieve or complete a research paper while others are not. Ano ba yung meron sila na wala doon sa iba mga sa mga researchers or students na hindi na makatapos ng paper? And this is what I discovered. So, ipapasan ko lang sa inyo yung resulta. Para maging successful ka daw na researcher, dapat meron kang tatlong persona. Okay? Ano-ano yon? Dinevelop ko yung pendulum of momentum enablers. No? Ang tawag ko dito, pendulum of momentum enablers. Paano ba maging makatapos ng isang research paper? Paano ba maging successful researcher? So dapat meron ka daw tatlong persona. Meron kang sense ng isang bata, may sense ka ng pagiging adult, at may sense ka ng isang wise person. Di ba ang bata laging excited at open sa lahat ng bagay? Diba ganun ang mga bata eh. Excited sila lagi. Oh, punta tayo sa Jollibee. Excited. Oh, try natin tong ride. Oh, sige, try natin yan. Unlike yung mga matatanda, di ba? Minsan, pupunta na hindi na sila excited kasi sanay na sila doon. Minsan, hindi sila open kasi, paano kung mangyayari ganito, di ba? So, mga bata open and excite, laging may excitement. So, kung researcher ka, dapat lagi kang open to learn new things. Kung researcher ka, dapat excited ka sa mga bagay na i-venture mo para maging successful researcher ka. Yun, dapat may sense of pagiging bata. Okay? Then dapat meron ka ding sense of being an adult. Pag sinabing adult, may certainty of purpose, meron kang direction, structured ka, no? Na kapag sinabing, oh, every Thursday, ito yung availability natin, lagi tayong mag-Zoom, discuss natin to kung paano yung division of work, ano yung gagawin ng bawat isa, o kaya ano yung mga insights nyo on how we can improve this write-up. So may certainty ang purpose ang mga adult. Ano pa? Meron din silang appreciation. Di ba? Mga adult lagi nakaka-appreciate, laging silver lining. Kahit mga negative na mga bagay ang dumadating, ina-appreciate pa rin nila, this is blessing in disguise. At least, nalaman natin na mali pala yung ginawa natin. Di ba? Ay, okay lang yan. Dapat ma-experience natin yung mga ganito kasi it will make us stronger. Di ba? So, ganun ang mga adult. So, ganun din. If you want to be a successful researcher, dapat meron kang sense na isang adult person. May certainty of purpose, may appreciation. And lastly, if you want to be a successful researcher, kailangan kang merong sense of being a wise person. Pag sinabing wise person, ang mga wise person, altruistic, positive thinker. What else? Meron ka ding risk-taking behavior. So if you're going to combine all of this and you possess those sense of being a child, sense of being adult, and sense of being wise, you will become a good researcher. Paano to lumabas? Kasi based on their experiences, ito pala yung mga, inanalyze ko lang yung mga experience based on the interview. At kaya pala sila naging successful ay excited sila lagi, open, may certainty of purpose, they really try to appreciate everything, positive thinker sila, optimistic, and meron din silang risk-taking behavior. So, yun yung mga qualities ng isang successful researcher na lumabas during the interview when I analyze those. So, I developed this pendulum of momentum enablers. Diba? And this was being used by other researchers as a framework for their own study. Okay? So, hopefully, medyo na-inspire kayo dyan. Okay? And again, you will be a good researcher if you have the right attitude, if you have the right momentum, if you have the right mindset, if you have the right sense making. Okay? And for you to be able to produce a good paper, kailangan mahalin nyo yung research para mahalin din kayo pabalik. 'Di ba? Sabi nga ni Beyonce, thank you Beyonce. Okay. Sabi nga ni Beyonce, you need to love yourself first before you learn to love uh, others, 'di ba? Ano exactly sabi niya? you need to be good at yourself before you can be good to be somebody else's. Parang ganun, no? Kayo na lang bahalang tumingin sa internet. Pero you need to love research. Kaya nga, whenever I post something about research, no, yung mga experiences ko, mga presentation, mga invitations ko in other countries, I always use the hashtag nagmahal, minahal, nag-research. Okay. So yun, it will remind me na before ko mahalin yung before ko maging mag-expect sa research, kailangan mahalin ko muna siya before I can produce a good research paper. Okay? So I will be traveling to the Philippines the day after tomorrow. Okay? So I'll be in the Philippines ng Sunday ng gabi. So bakit ako uwi? Kasi merong Sparks Conference sa Fatima. Okay, etong Sparks Conference, ito yung annual international conference being hosted by Fatima. And this is one of my projects ever since 2016. Okay, ako yung laging chairman nito. No? Ako yung nag-invite ng speakers, ako yung nag-organize ng mga committees, etc. So this will be on Monday, October 21, okay, sa Westin, Manila. So if you want to attend, you can visit the website, okay? Pero may registration kasi siya eh. Um, 3,500 for on-site kasi Westin Hotel, provided yung food, ganyan, maganda yung venue, may technology, may mga presentation, makikita niyo yung speaker, ano. Pero meron din namang virtual, which is cheaper siya, around 1,500. So if you would like to know more about it, you can visit the website, you can use the QR code. So ang mga ano natin, no? So ang mga speaker natin, ay sorry, nawala. Ano ko na lang ulit. So ang mga speaker natin ay ang aking mga pinagpitagang mga ano, no? Mga, mga kaibigan. Yan. So we have Dr. Matthew Guton from Canada. He's the editor-in-chief of Computer Human Behavior. Professor Jenica Ana Rivero, my very good friend coming from New Zealand. Douglas Leong from Singapore. Okay, Ryan Mercer, which is being replaced by Marla, no? The one who's related to Meta. Okay. And my friend Vincent from Canada, he's working at Huawei. Dr. Peter Esperanza from Barstow Community College. Si Peter Esperanza, very famous to kasi isa siya sa mga vlogger ng math, about math. And Christine is from Scotland, Shauna Davis, okay? And the other one are nurses coming from Canada, University of Regina. So ang topic ng conference is Metaversity. Medyo about technology to. So yung mga speakers, i-discuss nila on how they utilize the parang online or ano metaverse no in their teaching. Okay? And kagandahan nun, mga researcher to. So present sila ng some of their studies na may kinalaman sa the use of the virtual world in learning. So kung meron po kayong time on Monday, maghapon to, you can attend either on-site or off-site. Kasi you know what, when I'm starting as a researcher, attend lang ako ng mga research conferences. So doon ako kuha na idea, doon ako na-inspire to be a researcher. Okay? And who knows, in the future, sabi ko, I would like to be those person someday. And that's what I am experiencing right now. Before, I'm always at the audience, pero now, I have lots of speaking invitations about research. And I started as simple. I started with a dream. I started idolizing people in research. And now, I'm becoming, of course, one of them. So itong trip ko sa Philippines, I'm a speaker here sa Sparks on 21. The next day is the National Convention of the Philippine Nurses Association in Manila Hotel. I'm also one of the speakers talking about technology in nursing education. Then the next day, I will be into ano no to events. One is in National Kidney Center, and the other one is PNA Zone 6 because I'll be discussing on the use of AI. And the next day, I'll be in DOH. No, So yun. So pero I'm looking at of course discussing with you guys um in person, okay, on Wednesday. So hopefully it will permit. However, if not, we're going to schedule an in-person session that's fitted on your schedule. Okay? So guys, if you want to attend, so please attend. If not naman, okay lang din naman po. But I would like to share with you that I started attending mga conference such as this one. Okay? So with that, guys, thank you very much for your attention. So I'm going to stop the recording right now. Okay. Nasa na yung stopping ko yun?